Okay, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Can now,
Yes.
yeah.
Hey, welcome
Okay,
back.
my internet went down. I am.
Oh shit.
The show is back. I'm on mobile. So
Okay.
we have me on mobile for final comments. But you were saying about Excavate Warlock?
Yeah, so that was actually the first lineup in all of Wild series so far that chose to purposely not bring Questline Warlock, and it was a 40 card Excavate Warlock looking to summon the Azurite Scorpion. So
Does
it was
it
kind of
work in
interesting.
Wild?
No,
The bulk rate is the same, so technically speaking, I mean, in while you do have the resource of brand, right? So you need less bounces as you were doing in standard with like the brewmaster or so. But when you have such a powerhouse of a deck as Seedlock, anything else just nah.
yeah, it's like you could be completing your quest by turn 5 with giants and whatnot, or you could be choosing to play for a much later game. It is fun, but it's definitely a little bit more challenging when it's competing with the other decks that are, sorry, specifically combo decks that we've mentioned, such as like the Barnes Druid decks or Alex Rogue or anything like that, right? Who look to kill you around like turn 5, 6, or even earlier for the Druid, I suppose.
Yeah.
Fair. Um, let's take a look at the standings for Wild if everyone is okay with that. Or any final things we want to talk about this match.
No,
No,
get this out of here. I don't
yeah.
want to. We took the L.
So,
I don't want String to die.
Tom, tell us about what the conference looks like.
Well, the conference has Wild THL Fanatics at the top with 36 points. Then we have Hack 2 with 31. I'm looking at the current standings, so maybe if there is a win, it's not the updated data or the prior data. Doesn't matter. Then we have ET Nasaf with 30 points, Super Serial Clowns with 27, Warrior Greasers with 26, Anxions at APM with 21, and Staff with 11. Uh, and Wild always with the single conference, or usually, where up until the fifth week, the standings mean very little, very
Yeah.
little. It's like I've seen teams go for from the last place to the winning the whole thing, like because you have such polarizing players and matches, and we do things a little bit different.
Yeah. Um, let's move back to the main screen for our checkout question. It seems my internet has stabilized, but I am using mobile. So the question, our checkout question, to make it fast, I want to ask you all: is the state of Hearthstone good now? And if not, what would be one thing you would change? So don't say everything, just choose one card or something you would change, if anything.
Can I go
And,
first?
sorry?
Can I go first?
Of course.
I think the only thing missing is live cams on the Hearth Center weekly show.
Buy me a Windows computer and we get back.
Here's your problem. Your problem is you bought a Mac in the first place.
I didn't buy it, I got it from work.
Oh, I'd sue him.
I mean,
Uh,
if I had bought them, I would complain a lot more. They gave it to me.
They don't like you. They gave me a
no,
ThinkPad.
yeah, dude, I would lawyer up.
You need to make friends with the IT guy. They will give
Oh
you the
yeah.
cool things. Yeah.
See, I am friends with the IT guy. That's how I got a computer. I usually wouldn't.
So he gave you a Mac. That means you're acquaintances.
Yeah.
I like
I
go
don't
for
know.
saying you're friends.
I
Shit.
don't know.
No, I honestly think it's in a good place. I'm not gonna lie. Like I play standard, and yeah, there's matchups that I run into that feel a little polarizing, but like they're few and far between. And I think that people need to understand that it's not gonna be perfect. Like it is impossible to make it perfect, but there are so many things that you can play that can feel viable, even if they are not necessarily like quote unquote meta. You can still get by with like a little bit of understanding of the deck and just what's out there. I mean, like I went Diamond 5. I mean, I'm times 10, so it was a slower slog than those of you humbling at times 11. But like I went from Diamond 5 to Legend, um, with a 75% win rate on Discover Starship Hunter. So it's like, which is not great. Like, not a great deck, you know? It's like 48%. But like, I don't know. I mean, it feels balanced to me. There
How
are
was it
things
looking
that
against
are
the
not, but
shamans?
the shamans, I, I feel like the one thing with shaman, you can kind of predict what the plays are gonna be. Um, and so once you play against it enough, like I'm not gonna say it doesn't feel strong because like it's definitely strong, but once you play against it enough and you know what what those turns are and like what those plays are gonna be, it just doesn't feel overbearing. Does that make sense?
No,
Like it still
yeah, I
feels
completely
strong,
agree with
but
that with shaman.
it feels very predictable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel that currently we are waiting. So my answer would be for the what is the word for the fair answer. I will say that for standard and for wild, I believe we are in a waiting period for them to address the two powerhouses in each format, which for standard is shaman. They need to touch it up a little bit so it's not as predominant or as annoying, to use a word. Um, and for a while, of course, it's once again, as it usually is, at least once a year, the goddamn it Seedlock. Um, we'll see how if they change that. And I believe that we are in a transitional period waiting for Shaman in the Sun to get nerfed and Warlock in Wild to get nerfed. And that would be my fresh unbiased answer. And my biased answer is I want the egg back. Give me the egg that allow me to play the deck that I spam the hell out of it. And I miss me egg. Give me egg.
Fair. Um, Impermanence. What do you think?
I'm gonna start it off with my very biased answer, and I'm gonna say leave Seed Block alone for Wild. Tampa did nothing wrong. No, but like that is seeing too much play and it's seeing too much success uh, with the addition of things like Health Stone to the format. It just makes the deck so much less. So much more forgiving to more players. And the blowout boards and the meta cheese that you create with Dark Flare and just completing multiple rounds of the quest and still being at full HP is very tilting for a lot of players, especially in like the diamond ranks and below. So I'll definitely acknowledge there should be some tweaks to C block there. If not, something perhaps like I personally hate like the scam decks like Barnes, but I'm not going to sit here and say nerf Barnes or nerf those decks. Um, I completely agree with Tom as far as standard. It's just Shaman. With Shaman, like the thing with Shaman is like it's not the most like it is predictable. It's not like an unwinnable matchup, but the representation is just ridiculous. Like I played about 10 games of standard yesterday, and I'm pretty sure 7 or 8 of them were versus Shaman. It just gets a little bit boring, especially with the deck being as like fairly predictable as it is. Just load up the board, see what I can do, can I buff it, whatever, right? Um, yeah, that's about it. I would say Shaman Z probably going to be a pretty similar opinion across the board. Even though we see decks like Rogue being so powerful in high ranks of standard, just leave Rogue alone. Like, that's fine.
I was gonna say, Cycle Rogue is not okay.
Well, Cycle Rogue is definitely really like really powerful, but in the right hands, like it's not like the same as like, in my opinion, like C block for example. That's a lot more forgiving, and you can misplay and
Fair.
still climb and still have success with it.
I do think the issue here in permanence is that we are a little bit biased against Cycle Rogue because we basically just come from a Miracle Rogue meta.
It's
Um,
fair.
Yeah, that's true.
so yeah, we look at Cycle Rogue and you're like, oh, they play a giant on turn 7.
This is
Ha.
peanuts.
And then the fucking Miracle Rogue in Wild was playing 4 giants on turn 3. So you're like, yeah, so it's Cycle Rogue in standard is not powerful because you have like these terrorizing flashbacks from not too long ago. But I do
It's
believe that.
definitely true.
I do
You
believe that.
nailed it there.
Yeah, we are a little bit biased, but yeah, maybe we leave that to the people that play a little bit more standard here.
I think like honestly then on that note, like if they were to make like a higher legend change, then Rogue is definitely the way. But I think for the general player base that are seeing a ton of Shaman, they're not going to want to sit through all these Shaman matches every single day.
Agreed.
Rogue could definitely eat a hit, I suppose.
Well, that is it for Hearthcenter tonight. I want to take a special moment to thank our hosts, Two Star Mako, Tom Carter, and Impermanence. Thank you all for joining me tonight. It was great having you.
Thank you.
Always happy to be here. I know that didn't sound like it, and from how I said that, that's just my tiredness. I am always happy to be here.
Yeah, you're still salty about losing that thing with the hunter.
It's fine. It happens. It's fine.
But with that, we want to wish you all a good night, and we will be back next week. Tune in to Hearthcenter, where we're going to tell you what happened since then. Did the meta change? Is Bartender Bobbin standard? We'll see what happens.
Oh,
I'll.
shit, I forgot about that.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's
I
gonna
mean,
happen.
Druid's neutral just dropped.
All right.
Well, have a good night, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye
Later.
bye.